Hello everyone, this is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we'll be tying a British pattern, the Apps worm. This is a really weird looking pattern. To be honest, it's a strange pattern, but it works. It really, really works. On some of those days where the fish are just being a little bit on the picky side, throw this thing out there. I do it on a dry line, no indicator, dry line. Let this sink by itself, and then just do a slow figure eight retrieve, stop, slow figure eight retrieve, stop, pop, pop, that kind of thing. Just really slow. This does not move very quickly or anything, right? So yeah, here we go. So today in the vise we have a Hends BL 254 and a size 8. Usually I do them in an 8, 10, and a 12. And for the rest of the whole fly, it is going to be Uniflex red, and that's it. So whatever brand of flex you like, use it. So, and I'm going to be using some Semperfli nano silk in black or in red. I put a little bit. I do the black because I put a little bit of a black head almost on it. You'll see at the end. So just tie that on, and then I'll take a piece of my stretch, just lay it on one side like this, and I will let it go back all the way here onto one side of the fly, the hook, sorry, one side of the hook, and then I will come back and I'll put this one on the other side of the hook. I tie them a little different than others, but everybody ties things a little bit differently, right? So there's my back end. So I'm going to just cut this one to the same length there. And then I'm going to take this little piece that I have left over, and I'm just going to tie that on. Really stretch that out. Nice and forward a little bit. And I'm just going to touching wraps. Overlap that. I'm pulling fairly tight now. I'm going to loosen off. I want to try to see if I can even out that body a little bit. Not, it's really, these things do not have to be pretty. Tie that off. And then I'll just leave it there. If you got a way to clamp it, which I don't have one of my hair clamps right now, but I did clamp it back here out of the way, but it doesn't matter for now. Gonna get another piece. That out of the way if I can. Yeah, you know what? That's gonna be a pain. I didn't use a long enough piece, so just tried to use the leftover. Just cut that off. I can add a new piece. Same thing here. I'm gonna cross this over. Kind of like if you'd be putting on like dumbbell eyes type of thing. Just kind of cross it over. Figure eight it on. And then again, these you want about the same length as the others here, so that's pretty good. One here, and I cut right about there. That's not quite enough for the next piece, but that's okay. Do that. I'm just tie it on. This is just going to be for my body portion again, like I was doing earlier. Come all the way back to where tied in those last ones. Go forward. Even figure eight through that if you'd like, just to help hold that better. Come forward. Tie that off. I'm going to cut that off. Then I use the leftover piece, and I'm going to come Same type of thing as I did in the back. Have one on each side of the hook shank. Have that come to the side there. And then I'll have this one come up and over. And I will lock it down so it's on this side of the shank. Start both of those back. Go in front of it. Undo that because I caught in the piece. But yeah, go back and just make a little bit of a head. Get your whip finishing tool. Don't worry about how everything's hanging. I'll fix that in a minute. Just get everything out of your way. Get in there with your whip finisher. Can be a little bit of a bugger until you've got that out of the way properly. Finish. Nice and tight. That off. And again, I'm gonna cut these I like cutting a little bit longer than the rest. So then I'll just match that up in the front here. And there's your finished apps worm. Like I said, really kind of weird looking. Let's see if I can turn it that way and focus. There. It's nice and scraggly, like have lots of little things sticking out. You can actually have one going forward, one going backwards. Just experiment. It really, it's, I've not found a difference in whether I've got like them exactly out in the middle or this way or even the side, the front out the sides. So I've just they're it's just one of those patterns that's a little weird, but it really, like I said, it really works. Throw this thing out there and just a really slow retrieve, figure eight retrieve like you're doing a chironomid. Let it sit for 10 seconds, figure eight retrieve like a chironomid, let it sit for 10 seconds, and then give it a pop pop. And then let it sit again for 5 seconds or so, and then start your process over again. It's not a hard pattern to fish. But you definitely need to be patient, like you are when you're fishing chironomids. If you want this thing to sink a little bit faster, you can put a couple of layers, a couple of wraps of like a flat lead or something underneath it. But I like these sinking slowly because I'll often get strikes on the sink. I'll get takes on the sink. So I like these just on a straight floating line. Um, Depending where you are, the type of tippet you want, or the size of the fish that you're after. Um, a lighter tippet if possible. Don't go crazy though, because you don't want to obviously don't want to break off. And yeah, just do a really slow retrieve. So, alrighty, and they don't all have to be red. Do them in red, do them in orange, do them in green, do them in all kinds of different colors. I found red, orange, pink work the best. So I haven't tried black. I got to try that actually. So alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it's a bit of a strange looking pattern, but it's been around for a long time in over in Europe, and it's been around for a long time because it's very successful. So, bye lines, everybody.